Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Okay guys, let's have a look at the euro currency once again. So here's a couple of moments that we need to clarify before the next week starts. First of all, on the longer term investments, so some traders, some of you might be trading on the higher time frames, on the weekly, even on the monthly chart. And from that standpoint of view, yes, weekly context remains bullish for euro currency. Our fundamental view that we considered today, and actually in today's report, I have tried, guys, to make it really short. So actually, it just I was able to put it in just one post in the forum, which usually never happens. The fundamental background shows that we could identify as a very important driving factor for the euro that we have done today in the report based on recent news that we've got. And based on the recent Donald Trump comments, which we think quite representative. So if you're interested, you could read. But in general, our fundamental view supports this long-term bullish view on the euro currency. But on the high time frames, we suggest that if you trade on the weekly chart, it would be better to not fall in rush and actually trying to take the position as early as possible, wait for 110.50 support. By our view, this is a very reliable level and might be quite useful if you trade on a weekly. Speaking about daily intraday picture, market stands in an area that we have specified as a potential area where bullish signs could appear. Yes, we've got this minor bounce recently. It was really nice to trade it, but in general, we should keep in mind that daily context remains bearish. We do not have clear any directional bullish patterns. We do not have oversold. We do not have bullish trend. So everything stands down. And this means that we have bearish context. And if you would like to take the long position, you can't really do it without great clear bullish signs on the intraday charts. So because you intend to go against the major context on the intraday charts and do it without it, it just might be a really bad decision. So for any long trades, we have to wait and see what will happen next week. On the daily chart, meantime, we could say that probably an area around 11.50 might become the floor for a coming week, by the simple reason of the combination, the oversold and major 50% support that we have here. So you know that euro currency likes 50% levels. That's probably the only information that we have on the daily chart. I also was watching for this type of action, whether we have the free drive, but it can't be called the free drive performance because the ratios are too different and it's not a really harmonic. So that's why I think that we do not have this pattern in place. On the follow time, meantime, on the follow time frame chart, we've got very important patterns on Friday. And these patterns are two side-by-side bearish grabbers. So recall our discussion of ABCD OP target that we made on Friday. So keeping it short, we talked that if you would like to close the position, it's always better to use nearest standing target. So use the A point as the area in the actual level where the downside action really starts. So that is useful for closing a position. So you can see that lets you to close right at the lows. But at the same time, you should not ignore the major OP if you plan to open position in opposite direction in lower time frames, because that will be the risk factor. And here you could see what's really going on. So appearing of these grabbers just confirms our comments. Grabbers suggest drop below these lows, taken out of it, and you can see that actually OP target around 1175 gets good chances to be completed on the next week. So from that standpoint of view, it seems that if any bullish patterns will be formed here at all, they are yet to be formed. And we do not need to hurry up once again with the position taking, and should be patient and see what will happen. So that's the major conclusion of the Friday session. Meantime, if you trade on the very short-term charts, below the 30 minutes, so 15 minutes, 5 minutes, these grabbers might be a good background for a scalp short position, because you have clear and important patterns, invalidation point above the major grabber, target right there. If you will be in time on Monday open and market will show some healthy bounce here, you could actually consider this situation. And this is actually too small time frame for discussing in our reports, but this is just common thoughts on what could be traded on next week, in the beginning of next week on euro currency. That's shortly what we have here, so it's probably enough for me right now. Let's see what we get in the beginning of the week.